Hey everyone, welcome to our deep dive. You ready to get your mind kind of bent a little bit?
I think so.
All right.
Hope so, at least.
We're diving into this fascinating philosophy called transurfing.
Uh-huh.
And we're using these books by Vadim Zeland.
Right.
One is Reality Transurfing,
Okay.
and the other was called Hacking the Technogenic System.
Yeah.
So hopefully those two sources will give us like a nice, well-rounded view of this whole concept.
Absolutely.
The goal here is to walk away understanding at least the basics of transurfing, like what is the space of variations
Right.
and how does that actually work in our lives?
Yeah.
And then especially, we'll take a close look at pendulums,
Okay.
what they are, how they affect us,
Uh-huh.
and what we can actually do about them.
Yeah. Sounds good.
So you ready to jump in?
Absolutely. Let's go for it.
Okay, so let's start with one of the core ideas in transurfing, which is this thing called the space of variations.
Okay.
So what is that in a nutshell?
Well, basically, imagine every possible version of your life exists all at the same time. Like all at once right now.
All at once, every choice, every outcome.
Whoa.
And that's the space of variations.
Yeah.
It's a field of infinite potential realities.
Yeah.
So kind of like a cosmic library
Okay.
with endless books. And each one tells a different story of your life.
Every possible choice we could ever make that already exists out there.
It's a big concept, I know.
Yeah, that is a lot.
But Zealand gives a pretty good analogy in Reality Transurfing.
Okay.
He talks about water flowing through a pipe,
Okay.
and then it freezes and it forms ice crystals.
Okay.
And each crystal is unique, right?
Yeah.
Just like each potential reality, and the water represents the raw energy of possibility.
Uh-huh.
And the freezing is kind of like our thoughts and energy giving shape to that potential.
So our thoughts and intention, that they're like the mold that kind of shapes which reality we experience from all those possibilities that are out there.
Exactly. We're not just passive observers. We're actively influencing which channel of reality we tune into
Oh, I like that.
with our thoughts and our energy.
So it's a pretty empowering idea.
It is, but it's also kind of scary at the same time.
Right.
You know, like it comes with a lot of responsibility.
Yeah.
If we're shaping our reality,
Yeah.
why isn't everybody like,
Right.
living their dream life and having everything they've ever wanted?
Why isn't everybody in paradise?
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like, what's stopping us?
Yeah. So that's where the idea of pendulums come in.
Pendulums.
Yeah.
Now I'm thinking like grandfather clock.
No, not quite.
Okay.
So in transurfing, pendulums are systems groups or even ideas that feed off our energy.
Oh, so they're like energy vampires.
Kind of, yeah. Think of it like that they hook us into their game,
Okay.
and they often pull us away from what we truly desire.
So they're not like physical things. They're more like these energetic forces.
Exactly, and they're everywhere.
Like, what are some examples?
Well, think about it, that job that you stay in out of fear,
Oh,
even though it makes you miserable.
I've been there.
Yeah, you're feeding the energy of a pendulum, right? Or how about getting sucked into endless social media arguments?
I may have done that a time or two myself.
Yeah, the drama pendulum is loving that.
Oh, yeah. It's eating it up. Like
Exactly.
that example in Reality Transurfing about the old women
Oh, yeah.
complaining about the government on that park bench.
Yeah, they're totally hooked by that negativity pendulum.
They're just feeding it and feeding it.
feeding it their energy, and it's keeping them stuck.
Ugh. So we're surrounded by these energy vampires.
Kinda, yeah.
How do we break free? It feels kind of overwhelming.
It can feel overwhelming, but transurfing offers some really practical strategies
Okay.
for dealing with pendulums, but it all starts with awareness.
Okay.
The first step is simply recognizing when a pendulum is trying to hook you.
Okay, so that's the first step, but what do we actually do
Right.
to avoid getting trapped by them?
Well, one of the most powerful techniques is what Zealand calls importance reduction.
Importance reduction. Okay, tell me more about that.
So it's not about ignoring problems or pretending everything's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
It's about consciously choosing not to give things more power over you than they deserve.
So it's like not sweating the small stuff.
Yeah, kind of, but it goes deeper than that.
Okay.
It's about shifting your perspective. So
Right.
instead of reacting emotionally,
Mm-hmm.
you become the observer.
Oh, yeah.
You see the pendulum's attempt to hook you and consciously choose not to engage.
That sounds hard.
It takes practice.
Yeah, what about those situations where it's really hard to detach
Right.
and reduce that importance?
Well, Zealand has another technique for those moments called the smooth dodge.
The smooth dodge, what is that?
So think about it like you're playing dodgeball.
Okay.
Instead of catching the ball and getting hit,
Right.
you smoothly step aside and let it fly past you.
You dodge it.
Yeah. You're not fighting the energy directly.
Right.
You're deflecting it.
Okay, how does this actually work in real life?
Well, imagine your boss dumps a ton of work on you
Been there.
and insists to be done a certain way,
Mm.
even though you know there's a better approach.
Okay.
So instead of arguing which feeds the pendulum right,
Oh, yeah.
you listen, patiently agree with everything they say,
Oh.
and let that initial wave of energy pass.
Oh, so you're like mirroring it back.
Exactly. And from that calmer space,
Okay.
you can start to subtly guide the conversation toward a more productive outcome.
Wow, so you haven't given the pendulum any of your energy,
Right.
so it loses its grip on you.
Exactly.
Wow, that's like judo.
It is kind of like judo.
Using the pendulum's momentum against itself?
Exactly. It's a much more subtle and effective way.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, to deal with those challenging situations.
Okay, so importance reduction, smooth dodge.
Right.
These are tools for kind of navigating those everyday
Right.
challenges and stuff, but is there a way to like completely break free?
That's where the most advanced transurfing technique comes in.
Oh, really?
It's called empty yourself.
Empty yourself.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
It's the ultimate level of detachment, where you no longer give the pendulum any energy whatsoever.
They're like a mirror,
It takes practice, but the payoff is huge.
I bet.
When you're truly empty in relation to a pendulum, it simply can't hook you.
Wow. Okay, so that's something to aspire to.
Definitely.
But maybe for another day?
Maybe for another day.
We'll take baby steps.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've been talking about how to avoid those pendulums, those negative influences.
Right.
But now I want to switch gears a little bit
Okay.
and talk about how to attract the positive, how to align with the reality we actually want.
Yeah, that's a great next step.
All right, let's do it.
So we've talked about those pendulums and how to kind of avoid them.
Yeah, like dodging them.
Dodging them, exactly.
Yeah.
But now, how do we attract the positive?
Right, how do we get to that reality that we want?
How do we align with it?
Yeah, like what are the tools?
Well, one of the most powerful tools is something you're probably already familiar with.
What's that?
Visualization. But in transurfing, it's not just about daydreaming.
Yeah.
It's about consciously creating what Zealand calls mental slides.
Mental slides, I like that.
Yeah.
So it's more than just like picturing what we want.
It is about pictures, but it's about engaging all your senses.
Oh,
So imagine yourself in your desired reality.
okay.
What do you see? What do you hear? What do you feel?
Oh, okay.
And the more vivid and emotionally charged
Uh-huh.
your mental slides are, the more powerful their impact on the space of variations.
So you're like creating a movie in your mind.
Exactly.
A really compelling movie.
Right. And it has to be so real that it can't help but become your reality.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I have to admit, I struggle with visualization sometimes.
Yeah.
Like my mind wanders or I get
See?
stuck on the how
Right.
instead of just focusing on the what I want.
That's a common challenge. It takes practice.
Okay.
So start by setting aside dedicated time each day. For visualization, find a quiet place where you can relax, close your eyes, and just let your imagination run wild.
Okay.
Remember, it's not about forcing it.
Uh-huh.
It's about gently guiding your focus towards your desired reality.
Okay, so surrender to the process.
Exactly.
Don't try to control every little detail.
Right, and that reminds me of the example in reality transurfing,
Oh,
wanting to travel the world.
Okay.
It's not about obsessing over how you'll get the money or plan the trip.
Yeah.
It's about focusing on the experience of travel itself, the feeling of freedom and adventure.
Oh, I like that.
Right.
Yeah.
The universe will take care of the details.
Okay.
Your job is to align with the energy of your goal, to feel the excitement and joy as if it were already happening.
So shift our focus from how to wow.
Exactly.
I love that.
Right.
So is there anything else
Yeah.
besides visualization
Absolutely.
that can help us kind of align with those desires?
Zealand introduces some really interesting ideas in Hacking the Technogenic System
Yeah.
about the role of our physical bodies and what we consume,
What we eat.
what we eat.
Yeah.
He calls it live food.
Live food.
Live food, yeah.
What is that?
Well, it's about eating clean, natural foods
Okay.
as close to their natural state as possible. So think fresh fruits and vegetables, whole grains,
Okay.
things that are full of vital energy.
Mm-hmm.
And Zealand believes that what we consume directly affects our energy levels,
Okay.
and therefore our ability to manifest our desires.
So we're talking about like mental energy, but also physical energy.
Exactly. It's about treating your body as a vessel for your intentions.
Okay.
The cleaner and more vibrant your physical energy, the more effectively you can navigate the space of variations.
Okay, so you got to fuel those intentions with the right kind of fuel.
You got it.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like we need to be in top shape,
Yeah.
both mentally and physically, to really make those dreams happen.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've got visualization, we've got live food. What about those times when it feels like we're stuck? And no matter what we do, we can't seem to get out of a negative situation.
Well, that's where Zealand talks about induced transitions.
Induced transitions?
Yeah.
What are those?
Little nudges from the universe that can help shift us out of those stagnant realities, and he calls them signs.
Signs, like messages from the universe.
Exactly. And these can be anything from a chance encounter with a stranger to a sudden insight that pops into your mind.
Yeah.
They're often unexpected and sometimes even seem a bit nonsensical, but they can be powerful catalysts for change.
So we need to pay attention to those little things.
Absolutely.
Those synchronicities.
Don't dismiss them as mere coincidences.
Okay.
Explore their meaning, see what resonates with you, and trust your intuition.
Okay.
They might be guiding you toward a new path, a new reality.
Okay, so how do we know if we're interpreting them correctly?
That's a great question.
Like, what if we're just projecting our own stuff onto it?
Zealand emphasizes the importance of discernment. He suggests that true signs often come with a feeling of inner knowing, a sense of resonance that goes beyond logical explanation.
Like an aha moment.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
It's a gut feeling, an intuitive knowing that you're on the right track.
Okay, so what about when those signs seem confusing?
Right.
Or if we feel like we're not getting any signs?
Well, sometimes we need to take a more active role in creating those shifts. And that's where Zealand introduces the concept of frailing.
Frailing.
Yeah, it's a German word. It means letting go or releasing.
Oh, we talked about letting go before.
Yeah, with importance reduction.
Right.
But how is frailing different?
Yeah.
It's more specific. It's about consciously releasing our attachment to outcomes.
Oh, okay.
It's about surrendering our need to control every detail of our lives.
Okay.
And trusting that the universe knows what it's doing.
Yeah, so like setting an intention and then launching the boat.
Yeah.
And letting the wind take you where you need to go.
That's a beautiful way to put it.
Just let go of the oars.
Let go of the oars.
But that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done.
Yeah, our minds want to worry and plan.
Absolutely. Our minds are programmed to try to control everything.
Yeah.
But the more we practice frailing, the more we cultivate that sense of trust in the universe.
Okay.
And the easier it becomes to let go of the need to control.
And I imagine that releases a lot of stress.
Definitely frailing is a powerful antidote to worry and overthinking.
Oh.
It's about surrendering to the present moment.
Okay.
And trusting that everything is unfolding as it should.
Okay, so we're becoming more aware. We're practicing visualization. We're paying attention to signs.
Right.
We're cultivating frailing.
Yeah.
So we're building a pretty solid foundation here.
We're getting there.
Right, for manifesting what we want. But what about our energy levels?
Right.
We talked about live food.
Yes.
And the importance of like physical energy. What else can we do to kind of boost our energy?
Yeah.
To make our intentions even more powerful?
That's where movement comes in.
Movement.
Zealand emphasizes the importance of physical activity, not just for physical health, but also for energetic alignment.
So more than just hitting the gym.
It's about finding forms of movement that feel joyful and energizing. So it could be dancing, yoga, martial arts, hiking in nature, anything that gets your body moving and your energy flowing.
So it's all about balance.
It is about balance.
We need that mental energy.
Yes.
And that physical energy.
Exactly. It's about creating a harmonious flow between our thoughts, our actions, and our physical bodies.
I love that.
Yeah.
So we've got visualization, live food, movement, frailing.
It's all coming together.
It's all coming together, right?
Yeah.
To kind of help amplify our intentions and align us with that reality
that
we want. Is there anything else?
There is one more thing. Zealand talks about the importance of declaring our intention.
Declaring our intention.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
It's about stating our desires clearly and confidently, both to ourselves and to the universe.
Oh.
It's like planting a seed in the fertile ground of the space of variations.
Okay.
And saying, this is what I want to grow.
So it's more than just wishful thinking.
It's about making a bold statement.
Okay.
A commitment to our goals.
Okay. So we're taking ownership.
Exactly.
And saying, this is what I want.
This is what I want, and I'm ready to receive it.
Yes, I love that.
That's the power of intention.
Uh-huh.
It's about aligning our energy with our desires.
Okay.
And sending a clear signal to the space of variations.
This has been so interesting.
It has.
I feel like I'm learning so much
Great,
about transurfing and how to apply it to my life.
Absolutely.
I can't wait to hear what else there is.
There's more.
Let's move on to the last part. Wow, we've covered so much ground already.
I know, right?
From the space of variations, pendulums, visualization, even live food.
Right. It's a lot. But I feel like there's still more to uncover.
Yeah, there is. Transurfing is like a deep well of knowledge.
It really is.
And as we dive deeper, you start to realize that it's not just about, manifesting material possessions or achieving specific goals. It's about something much bigger.
Yeah, it feels like a whole new way of looking at reality.
Exactly.
Like a shift in consciousness almost.
Yeah, Zalanda actually talks about it as like waking up from a dream.
Oh.
A dream where we feel powerless and controlled by external circumstances.
Okay.
So transurfing is about recognizing that we are the creators of our reality.
Oh, and that brings us to one of the most intriguing concepts that we haven't explored yet, which is this guardian.
The guardian. Well, the guardian is essentially your awakened self.
Okay.
The part of you that's aware of the space of variations.
Wow.
And your power to navigate it.
Okay, so like that wise inner guide.
Yeah, kind of like that inner guide that can see the bigger picture.
Yeah. And help you make choices that are aligned with your true desires.
So it's not like a separate entity.
No.
It's like a part of ourselves.
Yeah, it's a part of you. It's always there.
Okay.
But it often gets overshadowed.
By all the noise.
By the chatter of our minds and the pull of those external pendulums.
Right.
So waking up the guardian is about cultivating awareness, discernment, and detachment.
Okay, from all those influences.
Right.
So we're clearing out the mental clutter.
Yeah.
And turning into that deeper wisdom.
That's already there.
That's already there.
Okay. Uh-huh.
So how does the guardian actually help us with manifesting what we want?
Well, the guardian understands that true power lies in aligning with the natural flow of the universe.
Oh, okay.
It's less about pushing and forcing and more about allowing and receiving.
So it's like the surfer riding the waves.
Exactly.
Not fighting against them.
It's about surrendering to the wisdom of the space of variations.
So how do we connect with this guardian?
Well, one of the most effective practices Zealand recommends is sliding. Sliding.
What's that?
It's about consciously shifting your focus from your current reality to your desired reality.
Oh.
Even if it seems impossible or far-fetched.
So we're mentally teleporting ourselves.
Yeah, basically.
To that destination.
Exactly.
Even if we're not there yet.
It's about inhabiting the feeling of the goal, the experience of it, as if it were already happening.
Okay, but our minds are so used to focusing on the obstacles.
Right. All the reasons why things can't happen.
Yeah, how do we get past that?
Well, it takes practice.
Good.
But the more you practice sliding, the more you weaken those limiting beliefs.
Okay.
And strengthen your connection with the reality you desire.
So it's more than just like positive thinking.
It's about actively shifting your energy to align with your desired reality.
It's about our thoughts, our emotions, our actions.
Right. It involves all of that, even your physical environment. It's about creating a holistic alignment or resonance.
Between your inner and outer worlds.
Okay, so it's not enough to just visualize. We have to actually live in a way that supports it.
You got it.
What about when we're putting in all the effort, but we're not seeing the results?
Yeah, that's where Zealand talks about intentional action.
Intentional action, what's that?
It's not about forcing things to happen,
Okay.
but about taking inspired action. That's aligned with your goals.
So we're being in the flow.
Exactly.
Recognizing those opportunities.
Yep. And taking steps that feel aligned with your intuition.
Trusting that the universe is there to support us.
Absolutely.
Along the way.
Yes.
It's like that quote from reality transurfing.
Oh, yeah.
The current will carry you to your goal, provided you do not resist it.
I love that quote.
Yeah, it's a good one.
It's about surrendering to the flow, but also actively participating.
Yeah, that dance.
Yes.
Between intention and allowing.
It's a beautiful dance.
This has been so eye-opening.
It has been. This whole conversation about transurfing.
I know.
And I feel like I've learned so much.
Me too.
About how to create the life that I want.
Absolutely. And this is just the beginning.
There's always more to learn.
There's always more to learn.
Before we go, is there one final message that you want to leave our listener with?
Yes. Remember that you are the creator of your reality. You have the power to choose your thoughts, your beliefs, your actions, and ultimately, your destiny.
Wow.
Embrace that power step into your role as the guardian and trust that the universe is always conspiring to support your highest good.
That is such a powerful message.
It is.
Thank you so much for this amazing deep dive
It's been my pleasure.
into transurfing.
Absolutely.
And to our listener, we encourage you to keep exploring this fascinating philosophy.
Yes, there's so much more to discover.
There's a whole world of possibilities out there waiting for you.
I know, right?
So until next time, keep trusting the flow and creating the reality of your dreams.
Yes.